The man looked at his beloved car. Not only had his classmates sprayed paint on it, but they also smashed the windows. Yet he showed no reaction because the man was the world's trillionaire. That day, while browsing his alumni group, he unexpectedly noticed his classmate's bride, who turned out to be his wife of 3 years. This left the man in utter disbelief. Just then, his secretary informed him that his wife had embezzled $10 million. Determined to uncover the truth, the man immediately drove to the wedding venue. At the hotel entrance, however, he was met with a wedding photo of his wife and the classmate. Furious, the man could barely contain himself. Unexpectedly, the classmate noticed him and approached to mock him, but the man ignored the taunts. He only wanted to wait for his wife to show up and explain. Then someone noticed the luxury car and exclaimed in shock. Their former teacher recognized the key in the man's hand and immediately praised him, but others ridiculed him, claiming the car must be rented. After all, back in school, he could hardly afford meals. Suddenly, the classmate realized that the car was the one his fiancée often drove. Enraged, he punched the man. The classmate confronted him, even presenting photos as proof. The crowd began to accuse the man, assuming he was the woman's secret lover. Then the classmate led everyone in spraying paint all over the car. They began smashing the vehicle and even opened the trunk, where they tore up a collection of calligraphy and paintings inside. The teacher recognized that the artworks were worth $100 million, but the classmate didn't care. He insisted everything was bought with the woman's money, so they proceeded to destroy all the antiques. The man immediately called for backup, but his phone was smashed by the classmate. The man warned, "You will pay for this." In response, the classmate snatched the necklace from the man's neck. This left the man panicked, as it was the only keepsake from his late mother. The classmate callously shattered it on the ground. Overwhelmed with rage, the man threw a punch, but he was quickly restrained and beaten down. Just then, the woman arrived. The classmate hurried to greet her with a simple snap of her fingers. Her bodyguard brought out $10 million in cash. The crowd was stunned as they prepared to enter the banquet hall. The police suddenly arrived. The woman was confused, but the classmate quickly made excuses and falsely accused the man of disrupting the wedding. The woman tried to get a closer look, but was held back by others. Then the man struggled to his feet and fiercely demanded that she turn around. When the woman saw who it was, she was terrified. The classmate and others continued to hurl insults at the man. As the classmate moved to strike him again, the woman suddenly slapped the classmate. She rushed to beg for the man's forgiveness, but he coldly pushed her away. At that moment, the man's assistant arrived. Only then did everyone learn the man's true identity as the trillionaire. The classmate was in complete disbelief. The assistant announced that they must compensate for losses totaling $500 million and presented a detailed list of damages. Upon seeing it, the classmate collapsed to the ground. The crowd instantly fell into chaos, everyone scrambling to shift blame. But the man had no interest in the drama. He immediately demanded that his wife leave with nothing, then instructed legal counsel to sue every one of them to the fullest extent of the law.